Hello and welcome back to the tutorial on writing your own operating system. Now in this 9th video we are going to finally do what I told you I wanted to do in the last video already. We are going to make this commonplace directory structure with a directory for source files, include header files and object files. So to make the whole project more tidy and so it doesn't get confusing over time. So what I'm also going to do is, as I said, I'm going to make this structure with some subdirectories. And all the classes will be put in namespaces which correspond to the directories that they are in. And also the, if not defined directives, will also be changed so that they correspond to the directory names also. One more thing. In the make file, we will tell the compiler to use this directory. Let's just do it, okay? I just create the directories source, include, and the directory object. I think I'm not going to really put it here. I'll just I'll put code in the make file which will create the directory if necessary. Okay, so as I've told you, I'll just move the CPP files into source and H files to include. Okay, and in here I will just create 3 directories again. One I'm going to call common. This will, for now, just contain the file types.h. But in here you would also put stuff like IO streams, vectors, maps, whatever. So basically something like the standard namespace in the usual C++ world. Then a directory for drivers. In here we put the base class for drivers, the keyboard and the mouse driver. And one directory for hardware communication. So basically drivers and hardware communication will be something like different layers in the OSI layer model that you know from the network architecture, you know, with the Ethernet layer 2 and the IP protocol, and then the TCP protocol above that, and then protocols like HTTP above of that. So this is really lower level. This is the stuff which you need to communicate on a raw, on a raw data basis with the hardware, and the drivers are really the language that these devices speak. And I'll do the same here. And then I'll just reload the whole project in the text editor. Okay. I will also put an additional prefix to these define directives and also the namespaces. Like this. And you probably want to fast forward now because this is really going to be very boring. It's basically the same thing again and again. Okay. So the next things we have to do is Yeah, the object files are going to be in a different directory, so we have to change this in the makefile now. Okay, and now what I've told you, so we don't have this object directory right now, so we have to create this like this, but only if it's already if it doesn't already exist. So we can do this like this. And in the clean command, we will not delete every object it's on its own. We will just delete the directory, the object directory. Okay, this will probably not compile right now, but I'll just try. One thing we have to do also is dash capital I and include. So we with this we tell the compiler to look for the header files in this include directory, and that is actually why I have changed these includes here to includes with these pointy brackets. Okay, so I'm actually surprised we got through the compile process quite fast now. Okay, now the linker is complaining that these methods handle exception don't exist. And the reason for this is we had this. I mean, in the interrupt stubs here, we have these strange names for these handle interrupt methods that we created, which are supposed to correspond to these static methods here, right? And because of these namespaces here, the internal names have changed, so the names we put here don't work anymore. So what we have to do now, if you look closely, these names are constructed like this. They start with _zn, and then you have class names or namespace names preceded with the length of the name, and then in the end something for the parameters of the methods. So what we have to do now is we just have to put a for here, my OS, for is the length of the string my OS, and the interrupt manager is in the namespace hardware communication now, and this has 1, 2. So this has 21 characters, so I'll put a 21 here. So the new name should be like this. And we can just copy and paste this for my OS hardware communication and put them here. Hey, awesome! Everything works again. So this was actually easier than I expected. So great. Now our project is a lot more tidy, and we will not get lost in there as quick. And now we can really go on with the peripheral component interconnect, the PCI, which we will do in the next video. Because at this point, the next steps that we will take is we will just add more and more drivers and protocols and stuff. And now we have divided everything up nicely so that we can put everything where it belongs in a tidy way. And yeah, so. Probably you aren't watching this right now, even because this whole video was really boring, and you probably skipped this because it was a lot of the same thing over and over again. But so at least we are now in a situation where we have everything quite tidy and nice, and so in the next video we can really go on from here. So see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss the next videos. See you next time.